We have Peter Gay Combs with the stories making the news this week. Yes, Peter Gay.
Hi, Edu Enka. Unfortunately, we begin with an update on a most horrendous domestic dispute which unfolded in full view of children this past weekend in East End, Tortola, when 52-year-old marine technician Lennox Ocho da Silva appeared in court on a Monday afternoon charged with murdering his 29-year-old wife of 3 years, Sharika Nelson da Silva. He was told that he was ineligible for bail. DPP Kim Hollis said Mr. da Silva told police that earlier on June 10, he had followed his wife around that day because he suspected her of cheating. He told them that at about 8 p.m., Mrs. da Silva started packing her things to leave, and an argument ensued in which Mrs. da Silva told her husband, who had been shot in Jamaica in 2014 when he visited her there at that time during what police said was an attempted robbery, "I don't know why the gunman never kill you and done. You give me trouble," end quote. Now, according to police, Mr. da Silva said something overtook his spirit after that comment was made, and he didn't know when the knife reached in his hand, except that he ended up stabbing her from behind, following which he grabbed her hair and cut her throat. DPP Kim Hollis said that when the police arrived at the Tiger apartment in Greenland in East End at about 10:21 p.m. on Saturday, June 10, after being called by neighbors, the two children, a boy of 10 and a girl of 4, had already been removed from the apartment by neighbors who also ensured that Mr. da Silva was unable to leave. After being told of his next court appearance on July 12 at 9 a.m., Mr. da Silva apologized to Judge Tamir Richards, who he said had known him as a decent person for years. He said, quote, "I'm sorry for what happened to me. I ask you all to pray for me because sometimes in life things happen that we don't want to happen," end quote. Just for our viewers' note, Edu Enka, Mrs. da Silva is a national of Jamaica, and Mr. da Silva is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, even though he has been living in the BVI for the past 10 years, 30 years, Edu Enka.
That is really sad, and you got to be able to control yourself in the fit of anger. And a lot of times our egos get in the way of our good sense, and emotion take over, and here's where we end up. But it's certainly a sad case for the family, for Mr. da Silva, and of course the children.
Children left behind.
That must be a horrific experience for them.
Quite so.
So all we can do is pray for everyone concerned.
All right. Up next on our list for this evening's top news is a development in the House of Assembly today. Now, today, the issue of the proposal to extend the runway at the TB Letsum International Airport was put back on the front burner by 3rd District Representative Julian Fraser when he sought an update on the status of the project from Portfolio Minister and Deputy Premier Dr. Kedrick Pickering. Here is the exchange which took place between both men.
Madam Speaker, a preferred bidder for the airport project was selected at the end of 2016. Some discussions have taken place, including with potential financiers and with regulatory authorities. The government is now considering its next steps.
Madam Speaker, if according to the Deputy Premier, the studies were embarked upon in 2009, which he correctly pointed out that he was not the minister at the time. And in 2012, he came to office and he continued the process. At some expense, I might add. One of the RFPs was selected by Cabinet. And he also pointed out, Madam Speaker, the intended purpose for extending the runway, which has everything to do with our economy. And from the time that RFP was selected till now, he's telling me that the government is considering considering its options. What's there to consider, Honorable Minister? What's there in the consideration? Isn't it obvious? Are you going ahead or you're not going ahead?
Madam Speaker, the government is considering its next steps.
So, Enco, we are fully aware that there have been questions and reservations expressed about this proposed project by both residents and legislators alike, and the minister's response today, or limited responses, didn't help to answer any of those questions in any way at all. He also revealed that the project office, which was open in 2012, was closed in 2014 when the project manager's contract ended, and so still no closer to any answers at this point as it pertains to what exactly is happening with this massive project that the government has held dear to its heart, or at least the Premier and the Deputy Premier.
Okay. Well, I can't say that any answers would have been forthcoming in any case, but I think that the question should have been, what are the next steps that the government is considering? That would have been more specific. So instead of what's there to consider, you know. So, but you know, I think certainly more information perhaps could have been forthcoming on that issue. You know, what are we considering? You know, I think there's some financial implications in the project. Well, of course, there's financial implications in the project, but how the project is to be financed is probably one of those considerations, and whether we are going to finance it ourselves through the Treasury or by a loan, or the preferred bidder is going to finance it. So those may be some of the things, but I don't see anything wrong in answering those questions. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not in government.
We don't know either.
Yeah.
So we all
I'm not in
don't
government.
know.
But I think the more information that we could get on the project and where we're going and the importance of the project to the economy,
Yes.
and I think what is happening right now is really significant in that we have gotten approval for the airline to go to
Yes.
the U.S. mainland.
Yes.
Not only have we gotten that approval, but we have also, the airline has gotten additional routes. You know,
Orlando, New
and
York, Miami.
that is significant. That's a significant achievement. Truly.
The Islanders can't wait.
Yes, that's a significant achievement, and I think for now we could focus on the positive.
So hopefully there is more information sooner rather than later
later.
regarding this airport project.
Well, thank you very much, Peter Gay, for those stories, and of course.
You're welcome, and let me just remind our viewers that they can check out this or these stories and others out of the JTV Newsroom on our YouTube channel or Facebook page and our website, jtvlive.net.